welcome to the stream. This is Twinning with Rice and Cookie, but today, since it's just me, it's just baking with Cookie. And I'm Cookie, Rice isn't here, and I'm gonna make a Oreo chocolate mousse pie. I practiced making it over the weekend and hopefully things will go smoothly. It's not a difficult recipe, there's just like multiple layers, so it would be easy to forget something. But to start, we're gonna be making a graham cracker and Oreo crust. So I was afraid that if I did just a straight up Oreo crust, it would be too sweet. So I wanted it to be like a more refreshing dessert that doesn't like overpower you with sweetness. So I'm diluting it down with these. And so since I don't have a food processor, I'm using this like crusher thing. It works pretty well, but you just have to work in small batches. And sometimes it can be kind of frustrating to clean, but you know, it's not the worst thing in the world. Just load it up. Usually my twin sister and I stream video games together, and we had some viewers request that we do some baking on our stream. So hopefully that, you know, this is just a trial run. We'll see if things go well. We'll keep doing more baking on occasion, not too often. I want them to be a little bit more fine than that. So I'm trying to do about like a little less than a cup of each thing. So I'm going to just start with the graham crackers and then I'll do the Oreos. Already broke off. I will say these honey made ones aren't as good as whatever the usual brand is of graham cracker, but I mean you can't tell when you're eating it, but just in the fact that these are more brittle, they don't work quite as well. So I wouldn't use these for s'mores. So I was hoping to do like 3/4 of a cup, and I know that the proper way to do this would be to actually measure out a half and then a 1/4 cup. I'm gonna just eyeball it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Even though with baking, most of the time things do need to be perfect. So don't quote me on that. That's just for this crust in particular. Okay, so we're done with those. And so with this pie, the bottom layer is, you know, the crust that's a combination of the graham crackers with Oreo cookies. The second layer is a chocolate mousse. The next layer up is like a cream cheese, whipped cream, Oreo kind of cookies and cream layer. And then at the top I'm just gonna decorate with some whipped cream. So the thing is, when I practice ran this recipe, I actually took out the cream filling and I only used the cookie part for the crust. So I'm gonna do that, but it takes a little bit of extra time, and honestly, it may not really be worth the effort because I've never made it not doing it that way. But I'm gonna be consistent with what I did before. Oops. You still have to crush these. Yeah. So my twin sister, Rice, she, like I said before, she and I play video games together, which is why we have a nice playlist going in the background of just video game music, of games we've played. Not necessarily all of them on stream, but you know, maybe someday. But the thing is, we always have liked baking, like growing up. Usually we would do like brownie mixes, you know, just from the box. But we would add chocolate chips because it makes it like way better. But sometimes we talk about our baking on the show, on our regular stream. But Rice doesn't cook, or well, we both cook a lot, but she doesn't bake very much anymore. I try to bake like once a season, at least. So like for this winter, I made a cheesecake for Valentine's Day. And then, what am I making this fall? I think I just made apple crisp in the fall because it's super delicious and pretty easy. But really my main goal for doing some baking every season is to use my standing mixer. But with this recipe, you have to mix a lot of different things, but not necessarily in big quantities. So I'm not actually going to use my standing mixer today, just my handheld one. No. Things are getting a little precarious with this chopper thing. I had read this blog where they're like, it's okay to have chunks in your crust of the Oreos because, you know, it's an Oreo pie. But you know, I think smaller ones are better, smaller pieces. Just because when they're big, then I don't think the crust is as smooth and it's not as cohesive. Oh, I can't read it. It says, Solzar. What's up? No Zelda Snake? No. I'm just doing some baking. So the thing is, I was originally gonna just record this ahead of time and then post it next week since Rice is gonna be on vacation. But then I was like, well, people might want to actually watch me stream instead of just watching it as a video, so I'm doing it now. But thank you for coming, because I honestly thought I was going to just be talking to myself for, you know, however long this takes. And that's totally okay. No pressure to stay. You can always move on if you want. But hopefully you enjoyed the tunes. My husband spent some time today just picking things out. But they're all games that I've played, so I definitely decided which songs would go and which ones wouldn't. But I'm making a Oreo chocolate mousse pie. It's for Pie Day tomorrow for a competition at work. And so I had made this over the weekend, and I brought in the sample one for my coworkers, and they said that it was pretty good. They really liked it, and apparently, so my supervisor is one of the judges for the contest, and she kept raving about my pie like all day. But I wasn't there to hear it because I was like out in the field today. So she was just raving about this pie, and she's like, I don't know who made it, but it's really, really good. But yeah, so hopefully she isn't biased or anything and judges fairly. That's what I thought. Because for a while I was toying with the idea of doing a chocolate chip, just like a chocolate chip cookie dough kind of pie, where it would just literally be like cookie dough in a pie shell. But then I was like, So I thought that was too much like cheating, because everybody likes cookie dough. And that's not really a pie anymore, because it's kind of more just cookie dough. But I don't know if you were watching when I said this earlier, but I'm just taking the cream out because I'm going to use it in a different layer of the pie. So right now I'm just making the crust, which is a mixture of chocolate graham crackers and Oreos. But we've never actually done a baking stream before. So if you have any suggestions of ways we can make it better, or if there's some dessert you would rather, watch us make in the future, just let me know and we can maybe work it in. We're going to just kind of use this as a test run because some of our other viewers have suggested that we do some baking. But yeah, just the setup is totally different because we have our setups very much just for gaming, so we had to kind of just put something together. Oh, I should be preheating the oven. Okay. But this dessert uses a lot of whipped cream, like a lot. Each layer has whipped cream just like blended into it, so it's a very light dessert. Yeah, because the thing is with cooking is, I guess I'm more impatient for that, but like with baking, I'm okay with waiting until things get like baked, because I want to make sure that it's done. Although I do like cookies that are like a little bit raw in the middle. Those are good. Same thing with brownies. Okay, so that's probably good. Oops. That's actually a big piece of Oreo. So I'm done with that. And I've got to microwave this butter. It's just got to be melted so that it can mix in with the crumbs. Do you do any streaming still, Czar? I try to like make a point to watch people's streams that watch our stream just so that I can see what kind of games they like and stuff. But I don't think I've gotten around to watching your stream yet, if you have one. Generally stream CSGO. I don't know what that is, or is it CSGO? You should stream games from old consoles. People seem to really like it. Rice pudding! Okay, so that's rice. Rice, I didn't know you were gonna watch. Actually, I didn't even know I was streaming this until I came home from work today. I thought I was gonna just record it ahead of time. Ocarina of Time. Okay, thank you. I should have known that. I've actually never played that game. Like, I played just on occasion, just not seriously, where I would take like my brother's file and I would just play like little bits and pieces. Oh, sardines with vinegar. Oh, the lemon vinegar is really good. I hope it turns out. Let me know. Okay. Okay, so now I'm gonna mix the butter in with my crumbs. I'm gonna mix it by hand because I'm, you know, a monster. And then I'll put it in this nice pie crust that Rice let me borrow. Because I don't have a pie crust. Oh, yeah. So Rice got the notification I was streaming. That's good. But yeah, I hope those sardines are good though. Let me know how that goes. Because is this your first time using that lemon vinegar? Because we had gotten it, well, like we went to a store together that had all these different like olive oils and vinegars. And they were all super delicious. But I didn't buy any because I'm too cheap. But Rice got one that's lemon. And it was really good. Okay. Last time when I made this, I thought my crust was too crumbly. I'm hoping, because I increased the amount of butter that I added to it, so I think it should hold better and not be as crumbly. So we'll see. No way to tell until tomorrow when they actually cut it. Because I think I heard that they have like some fancy like pie cutting utensil, like so that all the pie pieces come out the same size. So I can't cut it in advance, but that's not a big deal. I honestly actually can't hear the music, but I know you guys can. It's just a collection of video game music. So it might be something from, like since you don't recognize it, it might be from like Fire Emblem or maybe Professor Layton. I don't know what it is right now. I would love to make croissants someday. When I went to France, I just wish I ate more croissants and more crepes. Because like you can get them here, but the croissants are nowhere near as good here. And then same thing with crepes. I mean, like you can only ever get them like at a breakfast place, but they're always just fruit ones, whereas you can get like the savory ones over there, which is pretty cool. Okay, I don't know if I'm actually gonna need all of this. I probably will. Oh, you're in Argentina? That's cool. I don't know why they're the go-to breakfast food there and not here. I love croissants. Yeah, the ones that you buy here, they're just like, they're not really flaky anymore. Buenos Aires. I think I said that right, maybe. That's really cool. Would you recommend it for traveling to? Because I've heard really good things about like the Patagonia area. Is Buenos Aires in there, that area? I don't really know my geography too well with Argentina. But someday I'm gonna like go to all the different countries. Just over time, you know, not all on one trip. I'm gonna try to make this look pretty since it's gonna be judged. And looks matter for things like that. I think it's still being crumbly. Darn it, maybe I should have done more crumbs. Okay, so the southern part of the country is beautiful, but Buenos Aires isn't the prettiest part of the country, in your opinion. Okay, that's fair. I'm mean, I would say that the city where I am is not the prettiest either, but you know, it's got a lot of charm to it. I don't really know what I would say the prettiest part of the US is. I wouldn't say the desert. Ugh. There's definitely more butter this time, so that should help my crust, I think. I have also heard good things about Alaska and Montana. I think particularly like Alaska, people say is like awesome in the summertime, and I mean really cool in the winter too. But in the summertime, you get like it's always sunny except for like 2 hours in the day or something, which is cool. Speaking of which, Solzar, have you seen like the southern lights? I don't know, I forgot what their official name is. Like not the northern borealis, but like or aurora borealis, but in the south. That'd be cool. Cat. It's just another city. That could be. Yeah, I've lived my whole life in this area, so I totally get where you're coming from with that. Okay, so I think, gosh, the butter's like oozing in this. It's gonna be really good, but it's definitely, it wasn't like this last time, but I think that means this is gonna come out better than the last time I did it. Okay. And I could just patch things up a little bit. Okay, well, I'm gonna say that's good enough. Yeah. Throw it in the oven. Gosh, I'm like making it worse now. Sometimes you just have to know when to stop. Gosh, I don't even know how to say that. Hi. How are you? Well, I'm gonna just call you like AK. How's that? Okay. Well, AK, I don't know if you've seen my sister's stream before, but today is just me and I'm baking. So this is gonna be a Oreo chocolate mousse pie. Okay, so while that's baking, I'm gonna get around to working on the chocolate mousse part. And I don't know if you can hear my cat meowing, but sometimes when I'm in the kitchen, she thinks if she meows at me, I'll give her a piece of meat. But that's not the kind of food I'm making. Okay, hey, cool, thank you. We usually stream video games, so this is not our typical kind of stream. But this is just for us to try out because we enjoy baking and some of our viewers have suggested that we bake. Okay, so chocolate. Okay, so I have to, right. So for making the chocolate mousse, oh, actually you can't sub on our stream yet because we don't have 50 followers yet and because we don't stream often enough to actually have subscribers. So, I mean, you can just follow and that's good too. Thanks for the follow. Oops. So I didn't realize for making chocolate mousse, you have to make a chocolate ganache first, and then, yeah, there's 50 followers now, thank you. But we need to, I think we don't stream enough hours total per month to be able to get subscribers. So we only stream usually 1 day a week for 2 hours, and that's not enough. Oops, that's fine. Yeah, that's good. I think that was how much I needed. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna stream more Zelda. Actually, not tonight anyways. We're going to stream more Zelda, just not today. But, yeah. Hopefully we're gonna make more progress with that soon. Although, okay. Can I sub your friend's YouTube channel? Akid Ablahad? Sure, I can do that. What kind of things do they stream? That's good. Yeah, I will, I'll remember that name, or I'll like watch the video again to get it, and then I'll follow them. Okay, so this has to be melted. Thanks, Rice. So, AK, Rice is my twin sister that I usually stream with. So, yeah, we've never actually cooked before on a stream, so it's a new setup. Yeah, I came home from work today, and my husband already had this all set up for me. But then we had to like tweak it a little bit more because it wasn't quite the way that I thought it would work. But as I've said before, this is just a trial. And then if we decide we want to do more cooking or baking, then we can adjust the setup. This looks kind of gross now. But it'll be really smooth soon and be all chocolate and delicious. But I mean, we're making a lot of whipped cream today because each layer of this thing has whipped cream, and then there's whipped cream on top as well. So a lot of whipped cream going on. Okay, so there's a nice chocolate mousse. If you didn't know how to make it, that's all you do. You just melt some chocolate chips with some heavy whipping cream, and that's it. It's really straightforward. Okay, except I have to get the chocolate into this bowl. I feel like this is a little bit thicker than the last time I made it. I'm not gonna worry about it. I think it's gonna be fine. Can't tell if it's just a trick of the light. It is, because it was looking dark at certain angles and then lighter at other ones, and I was like, did I just not mix it well enough? Now, don't mind the sink. So I know you can like see all the dishes that are starting to pile up in here. Just ignore them. I'll take care of them later. Now, I can close those, but I'll use these Oreos again later. So I've got to beat up these liquid egg whites. I'll use this. So I think it's 3/4 of a cup. I was originally going to use a recipe that called for just like an egg, but then since you don't actually bake for the rest of this recipe, I was concerned because like salmonella, while it's a pretty low risk, I didn't want because I don't know who's going to buy my pie, so I don't want them to have any issues if there was salmonella by some freak accident. So the pasteurized egg whites apparently have no risk of having salmonella. So apparently they don't beat up as well to be as fluffy, but I figured I'll just make do. Oops. I think I could use some more time. It's kind of like wet looking in the middle, and I know I used extra butter. So it's going to go off again in a couple minutes. And I'm sorry if this beater, because when I was practicing this, it was making a lot of noise from just me hitting the sides and the bottom of this bowl. So hopefully, you know, it's not too loud or anything. I wish I'd gotten a bigger bowl for this. When I practiced, I was only doing half of the recipe, or maybe it's a third of the recipe. So hopefully this little bowl can handle this. Sorry, Stolzer. I'm glad you're liking the music though. Oh, you gotta start working out. What do you do for working out? Actually, I've been doing lap swimming, and I actually went running yesterday, and now I'm really sore. Oh, you're gonna be working out here while you're watching? Well, thanks for supporting the channel. Yeah, for what I used to do for working out when I like just didn't, because sometimes I would watch things like The Amazing Race while I work out. So I would like run in place, which is kind of lame, but I was like, at least I'm doing something. Bodybuilding is your non-geek hobby. Like real, actual bodybuilding? Like do you go to competitions and stuff? Or just, you know, working out as a, you know, dumbbells. Nice. Oops. Oops. Oh, man. So the crust kind of like sunk in, which I'm disappointed by. I don't know if you can see that, but like along that rim, it kind of just sunk. I think maybe there was too much butter in it this time. And while it's still like not totally cooked in the middle, like with this recipe, they say like you don't have to bake it, but baking it gives it a nice like firmer crunch. So I'm gonna say it's okay. I'm a little disappointed, but it'll be fine. I had to make some room in the fridge so that the crust can cool down. I think I'm gonna beat this just a little bit longer. To do non-competitive bodybuilding. I know I might not win now. That crust is kind of sad looking, but I'm sure it tastes super delicious though. It's like a ton of butter and Oreos and graham crackers. What's not to like? Yeah, this recipe you only bake the crust, but even that is optional. I feel like it's not really baking unless you're putting something in the oven. I've got a whole other pack of Oreos, but I don't have any way to get them to Argentina quickly, so I'll just eat them over time. Okay. So you can tell when these are done when you can kind of, I'm not going to totally flip it upside down because this bowl, it would just like slide right out, but it's done, I think. Hopefully the chocolate's cool enough that it's not going to melt these. Just gonna rinse these beaters off, dry them with a paper towel, and then throw them in the freezer for the whipped cream. So when you make whipped cream, they recommend that you use like a cold bowl and cold beaters. Yeah, it's done, I think. On cooking shows, sometimes they demonstrate them by like literally like lifting it upside down over their heads. But I didn't actually trust that bowl enough to do that. This is a lot more egg white than when I practiced. You gotta be careful to not knock the air out of it. And if this wasn't done, I mean, it would still work out fine. Because I still have to add whipped cream to this. So even if this wasn't as set as it should be, then hopefully the whipped cream would help make up for that. But apparently some mousse recipes, they don't have you add the egg, they just use whipped cream and chocolate. But then I hear that when you eat it, you feel like something's missing. Okay, so Rice is signing off so she can eat dinner. And then she's gotta bake her quiches for her Pi Day thing. So for both of ours, they're Pi Day bake sales. So it's like fundraisers, so that I think my fundraiser is for like a local cancer research program. I'm not sure what Rice is for. But yeah, when I brought in my sample pie at work, people said it was really, really good. So hopefully, as long as everything goes according to plan, it all turns out good. But one of my coworkers, he's like, wow, that was such a good pie, I'm gonna buy some tomorrow. And I'm like, well, what if it doesn't turn out as good tomorrow? But I'm sure it'll still be good. Okay. So this is looking pretty well mixed up. It seems a little bit like lumpier or something compared to the last time I made it. So maybe it's just the difference between making a bigger batch and a smaller batch. The smaller batches, it's easier to like mix things well and, you know, have it go according to plan. I'm not sure, like there's some darker streaks in here that like don't seem to be mixing as well. Well, it tastes really good. So I'm not gonna worry too much about what it looks like, but I'm thinking maybe it's just on the bottom of the pan, some of the chocolate, you know, I'm just not stirring it up. So I'm gonna just try to get that a little bit more before I get the whipped cream going. Yeah, it tastes really good, but it's not done yet. Gotta add whipped cream. And honestly, this might be too much mousse for my pie pan, so then I'll just set some aside for me to eat later. Okay. So I've got my cream. I'm gonna use this bowl. Since I'm making more whipped cream, I'm going to just set that aside and I'll use it again later. I was going to add a little bit of powdered sugar because it helps stabilize it. Because I noticed that my mousse, when I made the practice one, it was kind of like, not melting, but like it's not made to be out of the fridge for too long. So it was like out of the fridge all day today. So adding a little bit of powdered sugar will sweeten it up a little bit and help stabilize it so it shouldn't melt so much. All right. Yeah, and again, sorry about the sound. Just want to make sure it all gets mixed up well. Yeah. Making a little bit of a mess. I think I'm going too fast with it, maybe. No sounds, no flavor. That's right. Should be a catchphrase. Yeah, it just keeps splattering when I have it on the speed. If I go faster, it'll splatter less. Almost there. Okay, I think it's done. It's very stiff, so this time I do feel comfortable lifting it upside down. Okay. So now I just get to fold this into the chocolate. Yeah, they're pretty new. We started streaming in August, but when we first started, we didn't have it hooked or connected with our YouTube account. So then the YouTube account started a little bit later than our actual stream. So I think we started at the beginning of August. So our original hope was to make it like 6 months of streaming. Because we didn't know if, it was going to be something that we wanted to do like long term. So we just didn't know if we would like it. We didn't know if people would like watching us and stuff. So now our goal is to go like maybe a year. That's my goal anyways. I don't know if that's Rice's goal. That's my goal. But I think it's nice because it is getting us to play a lot of games that we always had growing up, but we just had never really played through. That's why you thought of being here before. Huh? What do you mean? But when we first started streaming, we were streaming at my sister's house. But then there were some technical issues, and so my internet was just a little bit more reliable at that point. So we switched to that. Now we're streaming at my apartment. Oh, really? That's possible. Yeah, we used to, because when we first started streaming, we were playing Overcooked 2. And then after that, I'm not sure what we played after that. But yeah, then we switched location. And we kept switching our days too. So like when we first started, I think we were streaming on Thursdays, then we switched to Wednesdays, and we did Tuesdays for a little bit. We were just kind of switching it up, and sometimes we didn't tell our viewers. We're just like, yeah, surprise, we're not streaming when we said we would. Well, hey, I'm glad you remembered us. I feel like coming across twin sisters streaming isn't super common, but that's good. I'm glad you came back. Yeah, I like streaming. Sometimes I have a hard time coming up with things to talk about, which it's easier when me and Rice stream together, because either we're going to be talking about the game we're playing, or we're going to be talking about things that we've been meaning to tell each other. That happens a lot. And so I write those down, like things that happen to me during the week that I want to tell her about, or things that I do. But for people that stream by themselves, like every day, that's gotta be really tough. Unless you just have like a ton of people following you and they can talk to you and make it easier. Yeah. So what games have you been streaming? So you said you were thinking about going back and playing some more classic games. Yeah. That's true. Okay. I think this is all mixed together. That seems to happen a lot faster than when I was doing the eggs. But you don't want to overmix it. Although I still see like those chocolate pockets. I don't know. Some Sega Genesis and NES games. And some Nintendo 64. I never had a Sega growing up, and my husband has suggested that we stream like Sonic or something. But I don't know, I don't like going too fast in games like with Mario and stuff, because I just feel out of control. And with Sonic, that's kind of the whole point, you want to go fast. So the only time I played it, I wasn't crazy about it. But aren't you supposed to be working out, Stolzar? Yeah, this does look good, and I'm sure it tastes good, but this isn't all gonna fit in that pan, so I can set some aside for later. Okay, well the crust is still warm, so I'm not gonna put this in the crust just yet, but I will set it aside, and I will move on with the next thing. Okay, so I need a bowl. So I'll use this bowl. That's clean. So for me, games, it kind of depends. I would say like I do enjoy RPGs, but I wouldn't say it's my favorite kind of game. I like games that either have like a really good story, which I guess would be an RPG, so okay. Yes, I do like RPGs, because as long as it has a good story. If it's got a stupid story, then I don't really care about it. And then I also like games that just have really engaging gameplay. So like with Overcooked and Overcooked 2, I really like those. And I like, and for like RPGs, I mean like I like Final Fantasy games, but I haven't played all of them. I kind of stopped after 9. But I really like the Suikoden series, Suikoden, however you say it. I really like them. They're Japanese RPGs. But I also like Shadow of the Colossus. I've only played through it once, but I really enjoyed it, and the music is like awesome. Me and my husband played Ico together too, but Ico was a little too scary for me. Just for playing, it like stresses me out, so I pretty much just watched him play. And what other games? I like Professor Layton. I guess that's more of a gameplay. Sometimes they've got an interesting story too. Yeah, so I like Professor Layton. It's all just solving puzzles, as long as you like puzzles. Yeah. So what kind of games do you like the most? I have been enjoying, because the games that we play mostly for streaming is like Donkey Kong Country and things that are more like you play a level, or like Link to the Past. And we're playing Super Metroid now. So I like those too, but they're I feel like I'm not as good at those kinds of games. But I enjoy them. Okay. Oh, okay, you like medieval kind of fantasy RPGs. I gotcha. So what's your favorite RPG game that you've played? But as far as Final Fantasy games go, because I've played 1 through 4, and then I played 7, 8, and 9. But I never actually finished 8, because I got halfway through and then I lost my steam on it. But I like 9 the best. 7's overrated. I didn't even know the Genesis had a RPG series. Shining Force 1 and 2. I've never heard of those. Let's see. Shining Force. Is it a long game? It's gotta be pretty short if it's on the Sega, right? That's my problem with RPGs these days, is just they take so long to beat that I feel like I just don't have the time for them these days. Well, I kind of made a mistake with this. I wasn't supposed to add the sugar till after I beat the cream cheese. But I'm gonna just roll with it, and I think it'll be fine. Can't recommend them enough. Okay. Well, maybe I'll check those out, because, yeah, I've been trying to replay through the Suikoden series. Well, really, I just want to play the third one again, because it's my favorite. But my husband's like, no, we gotta go in order, so we started at the first one, and we still have to play the second. But, so Shining Force 1. Okay. How many hours would you guess that it takes to beat? Not ideal, but mechanics. I think it seems that the games like for Final Fantasy IX and Suikoden 3, those are my two favorite RPG games. I'd say they each take about like 80 hours to beat, which is, or just to beat and like feel good about it. You know, like you could beat it at a lower level or whatever, but I like to feel good about it, I guess. Less than 8 hours, okay, that's solid. Unless you want to grind some levels to make it easier. Is it kind of like I like the Fire Emblem games. Is it kind of similar to those? Okay, so it's similar to Fire Emblem. Are you like, because I've seen there's some like, there's Advanced Wars where you're essentially, it's Fire Emblem, but like you're a tank or, you know, something where you're not like people anymore. Are you still people in this game? Uh-oh, I actually see that the webcam's having spasms. That's weird. Well, okay. Well, I'll be back soon and try to get this sorted out. I did. Oh. Got it. There's gonna be like a lot of extra colors. Okay. Hopefully the sound's working now. Apparently it wasn't a little while ago. But I guess I'm going to be adding a lot of chocolate mousse to this. Or it's more like I'm going to have a lot extra. Because I don't want it to be too thick of a layer of chocolate. Because I don't want it to overpower the other layers. Okay, so for the game, there's an army of different types of characters that join you on your quest. You can level them up, give them different items and weapons. Humans, dwarves, elves, centaurs. Okay, so kind of, yeah, same as Fire Emblem. Like. Okay, I think this is enough chocolate mousse. There's gonna be a lot extra for me to eat. Sadly, Rice can't help me eat it because she gave up desserts for Lent. So it'll just be me and my husband, I guess, eating our way through life. Okay. Hopefully that's not too thick of a layer. Wow, that's a lot extra. I don't know if you can really tell. It's a lot extra. But that's all right. I'm sure the judges will understand. Okay, so now I'm making whipped cream again. Oops. Okay. So I'm predicting that this is going to be also too much whipped cream for this other layer. And there's just going to be a lot extra of everything. So I should just like start filling up another pan, but just without the crust. So it's just more of a pudding kind of thing. Okay, still not done with whipped cream, so I've got to make whipped cream one more time after this. You know, if you like medieval stuff and like you're into like dwarves and elves and stuff, like have you read Lord of the Rings? I'd assume so, but you know maybe not. But there's also another book series, the Aragon books. So this is a very similar type of world, and so you might like those too if you enjoy reading. Okay. All right, sounds good. Enjoy your workout. So I think this is done. seems very, you know, solid, which is good. Okay. So now we gotta fold this into our cream cheese sugar mixture. I think that, because if you ever wanted to just make whipped cream to like go on ice cream or pudding or whatever, I would recommend like not just doing straight up whipped cream because there's not really much sweetness to it. So I would recommend adding some like powdered sugar or something so that it has a little bit more flavor and is extra delicious. Pro tip. Okay, so this is going back in the freezer. This is going to go back in the freezer because we've got one more batch of whipped cream. Oh, Ogre, hi. I'm making a Oreo chocolate mousse pie. And Rice isn't here today because she's at home and this isn't one of our streaming days. But originally I was gonna just record this and I was gonna post it later as a video. But then I was like, well, maybe someone wants to watch me make this, you know, live. So it's kind of a spur of the moment stream. So I'm making this for Pie Day for tomorrow. Because our work is having a like a fundraiser pie sale. But you buy slices of pie. It's not like you're buying the whole pie. I guess you could if you wanted to, but yeah. So far I've made a Oreo crust and then I made a chocolate mousse. And now I'm making like a cream cheese Oreo cookies and cream kind of layer. Well, it doesn't seem to want to mix well. Cream cheese layer is being a little difficult. That's all right. So what are you up to, Ogre? Did you watch this yesterday? I don't remember. Nom nom nom. This is, you know, this is for work. But there's definitely extra. Like, look at all this extra chocolate mousse. There's a ton. Just me and my husband are gonna eat it over like the next few days. Maybe even just tonight. We'll eat it all at once. But yeah. Because I test ran this over the weekend and my coworkers really liked it. So it's like a bake sale, but it's also a competition where you get, it's just like a $10 gift card prize if you win. But it's to the grocery store, so it's like, hey, you know, I'll use that. So it's not like I really care about winning. It's more like I just wanted to take part in it because this is a pretty new job for me. So you know, I want to get involved because then I'll meet more people at work and, you know, be part of the team and stuff. So maybe I overbeat the whipped cream. That's why it's not mixing as well. It's possible. Lots of variables. Now I realized because when I was making the crust, I was crushing up my Oreos using this like chopper thingy. So I stupidly assumed that I was done with it, so I stuck it in the sink, and it turns out I forgot I'm supposed to add crumbs to this layer. So I think I'm gonna do like, you know, you can always just put cookies in a plastic bag and just like mash it with a mug or something. So I think I'll do that. But yeah, it's a very light pie because it's got lots of whipped cream in it. So, because there's chocolate, well, in the chocolate mousse, there's whipped cream in this layer, and then there's gonna be whipped cream on top also. But it's not overly sweet though, which is nice. Because sometimes pies, like you eat it, and it's like, man, that was loaded with sugar, and it's just like really heavy, whereas this is a pretty light dessert, but still satisfying. Which, actually, I'm gonna need this bowl. No, I won't. I don't need it. Okay. Okay, so I think this is pretty much done, except I gotta add the Oreos to it. Alright, well that's pretty good. And it tastes like the cream cheese did become mixed in with the whipped cream. It's fighting me there for a while. Okay, so, right, I gotta do the Oreos now. 2 cups of Oreos. Oh, I already had a cup. Those are, I'm sure you're not getting fat just by looking at it. Besides, you're working out, so that's totally, you know, counteracting what you're seeing. So, you're good. Oh, but Ogre, Rice actually stopped in at the stream because she saw that I was streaming. And so she popped in to say hello, which was nice. Because yeah, I didn't, like I said, it was a spur of the moment stream, so she didn't know I was streaming, I didn't know I was streaming. So she likes the setup, because this is just a trial, because we've never done a cooking stream before. But, you know, if we decide we're going to make this a regular thing, then we'll upgrade our setup somehow, or just, you know, reorganize it a little bit. We're going to need more cookies. I had bought 2 packages of Oreos because I was like, I just want to make sure that there's enough Oreos. So I had to like go out and buy more whipped cream because I had tried. So I was attempting the recipe, or like different parts of the recipe, so then I like was running out of heavy cream. Stream baking more regularly. Gaming and getting fat, hey, you know, I love eating so much. I don't know if you were there, Stoles, when, it was a couple streams ago, I was just saying how I've been, like, out of control with eating, and how, like, I'll eat something and then just be like, okay, I want more. So, but then, like, I'll go and I'll eat something different, and I was just, like, on a rampage. I feel like I've dialed it back a little bit, but then all this baking and, like, testing things out, it's not helping. Well, thanks, Ogre. Yeah, we are. I don't know what else we would make, because we had toyed with the idea that maybe if we made like cookies or something, that we could actually ship them out to our viewers if they wanted to eat some. Because it's like, we don't really need all these cookies. But, you know, with certain desserts you can't do that, like with pie. or Rice's favorite dessert, rice pudding. You can't really ship that out. I'm sure there's ways you could, but you know, that seems a little advanced, and you know, it's not how we're making a living or anything. Oreo flavored cupcakes for next stream. You know, I don't even know like the best way to go about an Oreo flavored cupcake. Cause like my older sister, she's like the real baker in the family. So she had made some Oreo cupcakes, but like she had incorporated the Oreos into the whipped cream or like the frosting. And I felt like it was still good, but it gave it like a gritty texture. Because when you put Oreos into cakes, it kind of gets lost. Like the texture just turns to mush and you don't really feel like you're having Oreo anything anymore. Yeah, so my sister had put it in the whipped cream and I feel like it, or the frosting. I feel like it was good, but it wasn't, because since it was gritty, it was just kind of like caught you off guard a little bit. But maybe, because I had seen that there's like recipes out there for, because I had just gotten some Girl Scout cookies. So I could do like a thin mint kind of cupcake or something. But then it seems, because my only problem with doing that though is, then you can't eat the Girl Scout cookies plain anymore because it's in a other dessert. Hey Marco, what's up? So Marco is in Brazil. Yeah, how's it going, Marco? This is a baking stream, so I'm making Oreo chocolate mousse. So it's a 2-layer dessert with chocolate mousse on top of a like Oreo crust, and then on top of that is this cookies and cream kind of topped. Well, it's just a top layer. And then I'm gonna top it all with some whipped cream. Not as a layer, but just kind of for decoration to make it look prettier. So this is for a competition for Pie Day. Why is it a sad day in Brazil? I don't know about that. Because, so sugar-free, low-carb chocolate cookies. Do you have a recipe, Ogre? So I feel like anytime you make something sugar-free or fat-free, then you're replacing that ingredient with something that actually might be worse and harder for your body to digest. So I'm kind of all about using pure, oh gosh. So a teenager student killed 10 people at a school, like USA. Yeah, I know. Well, that stinks. Is that like somewhere close to where you're living, or is it like far away? Because, I mean, luckily there's never been a shooting at like any school I was at, but just the whole like thought of it, and honestly, like, it's just becoming a more common thing, and it's horrible. I'm sorry to hear that. I don't know, like, in Europe, like, nobody has guns. It's against the law. It's like only the police, they're not called police, but they're the only ones that have guns. And I kind of feel like that's how it should be, but then all the hunters are like, no way, I have a right to have a gun to go hunting. Or just the people that are all about the Second Amendment. There's a stark contrast between the chat and the delicious cooking on screen. Yeah, okay, so can't stop the kittens. I've said this like a billion times now. So I'm making a Oreo chocolate mousse pie for Pie Day. So now that this layer is all done, so I have this Oreo cookie crust, and then on top of that is a chocolate mousse, and then on top of that is going to be this like cookies and cream kind of layer, and And then I'm gonna decorate it with just whipped cream on top. And it's pretty delicious. I tested it out over the weekend and it all turned out really good. Lots of whipped cream in this recipe. There's whipped cream in the mousse, there's whipped cream in this, and there's gonna be whipped cream on top. But it's really good. I'm hoping to like kind of make it look prettier than my test one because like the pie slices are gonna be on sale at work tomorrow. And then whoever wins gets a $10 gift card to the grocery store. While that's not a big prize or anything, I just I wanted to enter a pie just to participate and be involved in work since I'm hoping to stay at this job for like the rest of my life. So, gotta make good impressions. So I only just started this job at the beginning of this year, so I'm pretty new still. But I'm not the newest person. There's a person that started last week, so at least I'm not the newest person anymore. But sadly the crust, like I added too much butter to it, so it kind of like sunk into the pie. Or like, you know, it went up higher on the edges and then it just kind of sunk. Oh. Can't you send me some of that by email? I don't think I can, I'm sorry. Let's see, the old corporate saying, bake your way to the top. Yeah. I don't think that's how it works in a government position, but that's all right. The same kind of, you know, the idea behind it applies, I think. Looks like we're not going to have as much extra of this layer because there's like a ton of extra mousse, it looks like. So maybe it's just because this is a smaller bowl. Don't know. I hope people still tried. Well, good for, you know, their ambition and stuff. Okay. Okay, so I think that looks nice enough. So now I just have to make whipped cream to go on top to decorate it. And originally I was going to, so I want to do like little, like, just a border around the pie. But, which I'll still do that, but then I wanted to like put like little pieces of Oreo on some of the little like edge kind of staggered around to make it look pretty. But I'm not going to do that tonight because I'm afraid that like overnight the cookie will absorb some of the moisture from the whipped cream and then it won't, or like it'll just be a little soggy, you know? Whereas if I do it tomorrow morning right before work, it should turn out okay. So now I've got to make more whipped cream. Okay. Oh. First, okay, so I had done a lot of research on different additives to make your whipped cream stabilized because you don't want it to like melt and stuff. So I'm using like this agar. It's actually a seaweed that they use in like Asian cooking more often. So it's kind of like a gelatin, but it's vegetarian. So I'm using this. And hopefully it works out. It worked well in one of my test runs, but in one of my other test runs, it did not work out. So we'll see. Over made some similar sugar-free cookies there. That sounds really good. Delicious. Well, I'm actually not listening to anything, but you guys are. They're games that I've played and that I like the songs. But yeah, so that you know, you're not just listening and not like, you know, just that's a little bit more nice. Like how with your stream you've got music going. Which I actually meant to ask, do you use video game music? Because I swear I heard like a Zelda song or something, but it's all classical kind of music, so I wasn't totally sure. Okay, so, I've got to microwave this. I'll look at that recipe. If it is really good, I'll It looks really good. So I can make that for if we do another baking stream. If I do another baking stream, I could make that. Share with the world sugar-free cooking. Okay, yeah, you know, actually my husband heard the Interstellar theme song. And I was like, no, I think they do video game music. And he's like, that's Interstellar. And I was like, okay, if you say so. No, I guess he was right. Oh. A tiny bit. Still looks smooth though. Some of this, this container's like bonked into the pie a little bit. It's fine. This actually might make a mess. I should do this in a different container, just in case. Making all sorts of mistakes. That sounds nice. I had thought about, because I was picking out songs to include for this stream. And then I was like, you know, it'd be kind of nice to put in some movie music. But then I was like, I don't even know what movies I would pick because, you know, there's so many good ones with good soundtracks and stuff. So then, since I was just trying to put it together quickly before the stream started, I was like, I'll just stick with video games. But maybe, you know, if we do keep doing baking streams, then I'll start incorporating other soundtracks. So the thing with this agar powder, you're supposed to dissolve it in like your cream or whatever you're using. But the thing is, it's really difficult to actually just stir it up to dissolve it because it clumps really easily. So I use this like milkshake maker attachment on my handheld mixer. And it seems to work pretty well, but you don't want to like actually whip it though, which is always a concern with whipped cream. One of the times I did make this, it turned out gritty because it didn't mix well and that was bad. So the time that I actually did it this way, it works pretty well. So I'm hoping it works out. You know, now that I'm thinking about it though, I was using that bowl because I have to microwave this just to make sure it fully dissolves. And I can't microwave this bowl, so all these different mistakes I'm making. It's fine. Okay. Yeah, I don't really know composers at all. I know like, you know, the classic ones like Beethoven and stuff. But yeah, I'll look into them because any sort of like classical, relaxing music is good. Okay. Oh gosh, there was definitely like a clump in there. Okay, well I think I'm still gonna mix this up a little bit more. I could always just make it without this powder, but like I went to all this trouble to find it and stuff, so I want to use it. But if this whipped cream doesn't turn out, then I'll have to just make some without. And that would actually be like a ton easier. So we'll try this. You only have to microwave it for like 10 minutes, so, or seconds, not minutes, sorry. It's like I see a clump that's still in there. I saw there was this one recipe where they used this powder and then they're like, they recommended putting it through like a sieve so that any little bits that didn't dissolve, you get rid of it. The thing is, I don't have any sort of like mesh strainer or anything, so I don't see clumps, so I think it's gonna be okay. We'll find out. Okay, so so now we add that and the rest of our whipping cream. And then we've got some extra fun things to add, like powdered sugar. However, I got a tablespoon in there. That's nice. I'm gonna do 2 tablespoons of powdered sugar. Do half a tablespoon of milk powder, which milk powder, people say that, you know, it's good to add just to stabilize your whipped cream, because I just wanted to make like I'm taking every precaution possible just so it doesn't melt. Probably going overboard, but I'd rather go overboard than, you know, have it melt and look gross. Okay. I'm supposed to whip it till it has like soft peaks, which honestly, I feel like the peaks thing isn't a good way to indicate it, but just like when you move the whisks around and it leaves a little trail, you want to just start to leave a trail but not have like a firm trail. So then that's when you add the vanilla. Oops. It's like splattering everywhere. Because when I practiced, I was using like a quarter of the recipe for doing whipped cream. So I guess this bowl isn't really ideal for making whipped cream. Note to self for the future. Okay, we're getting close. ready for the vanilla. And honestly, I don't know why you have to do it this way, but it's just what the recipe told me to do. For whatever reason, I can never get like a clean pour from my vanilla. It just kind of always like, you know, it's just not a clean stop. I want to do it at a faster speed, but then I don't know if you guys see like the stuff splattering, but it's getting all over the place here. That's alright. So I don't know if you can see like the little trails it leaves. That means it's really close to being done. Okay, so that's done. And now we get to do the really fun part where we like pipe it to make it look pretty. I'd actually never piped anything before until I tested out this recipe. And you know, it's really not hard to make something look pretty. All you need is the piping bag and stuff, which I'm actually borrowing from Rice because I don't have a set of my own. But, so I'm sure like everyone's seen these on baking shows and stuff, which I absolutely love watching baking shows, especially the Great British Baking Show. It's on Netflix and there's like a bunch of seasons on there, and I definitely have watched them all by now. But all the contestants like are really serious about their baking, and they're all very nice to each other, which like for American TV baking shows, it's all about the competition and like cutthroat and stuff, but Great British Baking Show is just nice and chill, and it's really nice to watch. I highly recommend it. Okay. Oh man, I'm making a mess. Okay. Oh shoot, there's a vacuum, so I need to... I should have cut this earlier. Okay, so I lost some whipped cream onto the table. It's fine. I just gotta be a little careful because I want to. I think that one was a little too close to the edge. I want to bring it in a little bit. That's pretty much what I want to do all the way around. I was kind of hoping they'd be touching, so I've got to make adjustments because I didn't actually practice like this part for how I wanted it to look. I kind of just did practice ones on like little pieces of graham cracker. So I've never actually decorated a real pie before, but I feel like they're getting bigger as I go. That's okay. Oh, uh-oh. I'll get that off later, hopefully. That's a really small one. Let's see how I can fix this. Okay. Okay, that's not the worst looking thing in the world. And then we can kind of patch it up. Yeah, that looks fine. I'm kind of thinking about taking off this one I did that's too close to the edge. So I'm gonna go for it. I hope it works out. That wasn't so bad. And I can just cover it up with the other one. It's really good. And it's not grainy like I was afraid it might be. Oh my god. Okay. That was not a clean grab. I'm gonna wash my hands. I've like licked everything now. Okay. I think this one's so. Okay, that's probably good enough, right? Thank you. Yeah, I won't get to actually taste it on stream, but thank you for watching. Okay, so now we're gonna just fit one big one here, I think. It's not even that big. Okay, there we go. Pretty good. Over here, that one's like huge, but you know. Yeah, it's a shame I can't just like send people a piece, but I mean, I do need this for work tomorrow, but not exactly symmetrical, but I think it'll be okay. I think I can live with it, so. All right, so that's my pie. I'm gonna, hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I was hoping to, you know, decorate it with Oreos tomorrow morning. I was gonna put it like on top of each thing, but you know, maybe I'll do it as like dividers between them because just the way it works out numbers wise. I wanted it to go like every other, but I didn't do the right number of swirls, so that's okay. There should be 31 little circles, or 300, oh man, yeah, you're right. Hey, thank you for following. I don't normally bake on stream. Normally I'm playing video games, but we might be doing more baking, so we'll see. But thank you for following. Okay, so yeah, this is all set, and thank you very much all for watching, and yeah, check out our normal stream where we're playing A Link to the Past and Super Metroid. If not, then you know, maybe we'll be baking in the future. We'll see. All right, well, thank you all. Bye. Yeah, that's right. Okay, thank you for reminding me. Yeah, we're streaming on Saturday from 7 to 9 p.m. Me and my sister, we're going to be playing A Link to the Past. Thank you for the reminder. Okay. All right, bye.